Welcome to Rolled Worlds. I'm Sean the writer.
I'm Kim, the one that sits in the middle.
And I'm Ronan, the artist.
And today on Rolled Worlds we are discussing Morjin, who is one of the major gods of Tanu. He is the creator of light, of goodness, and justice. He is the paladin's best friend. Ronan, what are you drawing today?
A picture of Morjin.
Oh, okay, cool. Morjin helped create the universe, and he also created the humans that exist on Tanu, and he himself looks like a human. So he made them in his image. His favored humans are the Feronians, which are stereotypical medieval humans that you would find in Europe, clad in plate armor and riding horses, and we'll get into them later. His personality, since a lot of these gods and a lot of the stories that we're going to be talking about on the show are not fully created, we haven't fully fleshed out these concepts. That's why we're doing these videos, is to help us with our discussion of them. We haven't created a very distinct personality yet to Morjin besides justice, goodness, and light.
Well, we know he has pride.
Right, he definitely has.
He's got pride, and it's to a fault occasionally.
Occasionally, yep. He is stubborn, I would say. He cares very much for fairness due to justice being his big thing, balance.
There's probably a bit of stoicism.
Yep.
A lot of duck on the water type stuff.
Yep. His favorite weapon is the Warhammer, which is also his symbol.
I think maybe he keeps the other gods at a distance.
Yeah, he's always kind of watching him. He is kind of the main god amongst the major gods. They all kind of come to him whenever there are conflicts within the gods.
Stay tuned till the end, where we show you some really funny dog bloopers.
Oh, he has a secret relationship with the goddess Ilana, who is the goddess of bliss and ecstasy, and she is considered the all-gendered one. Their love was actually fashioned by you, so you go ahead and tell their little bit of story.
So Alana had pursued Morjin for quite some time, and eventually at one point he saw something in her, like a light, you could say, and there was an attraction there. So flirtation happens, and now it's mutual, and things go to the next level, and they mate with each other. After the mating happens, he becomes very ashamed because of his principles. He's supposed to just sort of be watchful and pay attention to everyone and care for everyone and not have pleasure or time for himself.
Right, the selfish desires that Ilana very much stands for.
And so it was very much a push and pull thing for a while, where he would give a little bit and then realize what he was doing was wrong and he'd feel guilt about it and pull away. And eventually, any longer, and they both fell in love with each other. Alana is a very boisterous and open creature, but her feelings for Morjin have made her modest about their relationship, and so she's been able to keep it a secret as well.
And so that's still a thing.
Yes.
That's still a thing, that secret relationship with Ilana.
And it's something that none of our players know, so
right.
They might be excited when they watch this video.
Right, they'll know now.
Right.
There's also, earlier on in the creation, after Tanu had come to be and the different gods were looming over the planet doing their thing, there was a betrayal that occurred by the god Durantia, who is the god of trickery, and he convinced all of the minor gods to exile the major gods from the heavenly bodies, from the different planes of existence. They all were kicked out and ended up on Tanu. Morjin was separated from the rest of the group because Durantia thought Morjin would be more of a threat if he was...
Also, he was the morale of the group as well.
Right.
Because they all turned to him for knowledge. He thought that it would take the legs out from underneath him.
Right. And so Morjin was actually trapped inside of the void during the time of the betrayal. Eventually, the gods on Tanu were able to muster enough followers and belief to be able to rekindle themselves as gods. When they got back to Celestia, which is Morjin's domain, they were able to defeat Durantia, to put themselves back into the state as gods, and to set things right and to release Morjin from the void. The gods then took Durantia and cast him into the void as punishment, and enough time has gone by since then that Durantia has been set free and things are considered back to... When we think of his goals and his motivations, as of right now, I would say Ilana is one of his goals and his motivations. He wishes to be with her, but he also has a problem with the things that are going on with Slanfarnik, the connection that Ilana and Slanfarnik have in the being called Sarah Palong. Due to those issues, he's having a harder time being with Ilana at all. I would say a motivation of his is trying to figure out how to get rid of at least Sarah Palong. Maybe even Slanfarnik if he could. Other goals and motivations of Morjin, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head that I've created.
Because
originally.
he's so innately good. Like, that's fairness is his goal.
Balance.
Balance is his goal.
But goodness in that balance.
Right.
If things are evil, he doesn't consider that to be balance.
Right.
He considers evil to be something that's bad. Like that you get rid of evil and everything that is left is to be fair and balanced. What he looks like. What do you imagine Morjin looking like?
One of those romance novels that you get at like the airport. That's what I
Which
picture
is
when
what?
I picture him. Like Rollo from Vikings, or
So long brown hair?
actually I picture him blonde.
Long blonde hairs?
I see him with very very light features like blonde hair and green or blue eyes, fair skin, maybe even a redhead. I don't know, and very much like Fabio.
Don't picture Fabio.
But not a softer face, almost angelic.
Okay. Yeah, angelic. What about you, Ronan? You're trying to draw him. What do you imagine him as?
A guy in a lot of armor.
You're right.
Never really thought about his face because he always has a helmet on. Or at least in all the pictures.
So you can have
I've
one of
seen
those
for
big
reference.
reveals where he's like.
He's already technically been revealed. He
I'm
had
just
his
saying-
helmet off when we met him in Celestia.
I'm saying every time that he takes his helmet off, he can do that because he has
A big
general store hair, general store romance novel hair.
So he takes off the helmet and just like locks of hair
Yeah,
come
like-
rolling out.
In slow motion. In the hair.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
single time. He's a god. It has to happen every
Right.
time.
Okay.
I was also picturing him blonde.
Long hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he reminded me a lot of Thor when we met him the first time in our campaign.
Yeah.
I was kind of getting some Thor image vibes.
So long blonde hair, muscular, and
A young
green
face.
hair. I mean green eyes. Green eyes.
And a young face.
Young face. Because that would go with the angelic look to him. Okay. Alright. When it comes to conflicts, he really doesn't like Durantia because of what Durantia did to the group. He really doesn't like Slanfarnik because she is the goddess of evil and all things that are bad. I'd say he's also in constant conflict with Gore, because Gore is the god of war, bloodshed, and like there's technically an evilness to Gore.
Right, that's literally,
because
he
of
just
that.
wants everything
To be
to
killed
end in
and
war.
die and and for there to be bloodshed. And so I'd say he's battling Gore often.
They definitely have a lot of disagreements.
Right.
And himself, he's got conflict within
Yep,
himself.
because of Ilana. He's having a conflict over his own morality as a god, because he's supposed to be the god of goodness, and has this flaw within him because of her. The symbol of Morjin is that of a hammer, a two-sided war hammer. So I think we've discussed Morjin pretty well. And if you have any other ideas for him,
We would love some input. As you can see, we have really just kind of a skeleton of him and his personality.
yeah.
There are some key points that we have, but we would love...
What does he like to do when he's not having to rule over all of Celestia? What is he doing in his...
Aside from Ilana, what does he like to do?
Yep.
Yep.
So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Rolled Worlds. What will be the next god that we discuss?
I thought we decided we were just going down the...
Who's next?
I don't know who's next on the list.
You created the gods.
How about let's just go opposite of Morjin, and let's talk about Slanfarnic.
Okay.
She's fun.
All right.
Yeah. So next time we're going to discuss Slanfarnic. She probably has some of the most lore
Right.
and storyline.
She's definitely been the most active.
God
In the games.
in any of the role-playing
Any of the
games
games
that
that
you
we
guys
played,
have been
yeah.
in with me. Like, she's been a key villain inside of any of the campaigns that we've been doing, and she has the Shadow Children and all that stuff. So she'll be a fun one to discuss. We've got a lot that we'll be able to share about her and the Crossroads more in depth with her. So yeah, Slanfarnic will be our next video. So I hope you enjoyed Rolled Worlds. And I'm Sean, the writer.
I'm Kim, the one that sits in the middle.
And I'm Ronan, the artist.
Please like, comment, and give us a share. Oh, and subscribe. Be here next week for another video.